So, for the introduction, the development process is a structured approach that guides the creation of products, particularly in fields such as software engineering and project management. This process is essential for transforming an idea into a tangible product, ensuring that it meets the intended goals and requirements. Understanding the development process is crucial for both practitioners and stakeholders involved in product development as it helps clarify expectations, allocate resources efficiently, and ultimately deliver high quality outcomes. In the end, this systematic approach not only guarantees that all required elements are handled methodically, but it also improves efficiency and effectiveness over the course of the product's life cycle. Following a clear development process helps teams better manage resources, coordinate activities, and produce high quality results that meet desired objectives. So for the project location, Teku, a small community area established on green soil and with its own unique features, is situated in the picturesque Cebu Sarawak area. Its strategic role in bringing a new period of dynamic growth for the region is explored and examined in this assignment. Teku, located just 9.5 kilometers from Cebu town, urban amenities are easily accessible to residents, encouraging economic integration and creating chances for small companies. Residents enjoy easy access to urban amenities, which promotes economic integration and provides opportunities for local business. The Cebu Municipal Council, known as Majlis Pembangunan Cebu (MPS), plays a significant role in the local governance of Cebu, a vibrant town located in the state of Sarawak, Malaysia. SMC was established on January 31, 1925, during the era of Kingdom of Sarawak. The council has evolved through various phases to become the municipal authority it is today. Initially known as the Cebu Municipal Board, it was formed to oversee local administration and development within the region. The board was chaired by the resident of the 3rd Division of Sarawak, with members including key officials like the Cebu District Officer and representatives from various community sectors. These early structures laid the groundwork for a governance model that aimed to address local needs and foster community engagement. So for the organizational chart, which is led by the Setiausaha Pemanaran, Yong Ing Chu, and then followed by the Unit Integrity, Chong Ni Ni and Linden Lau Sin Ying, Unit Perundangan and Pengurusan Kontrak, Justina Teresa Kaben, Timbalan Setiausaha Perancangan dan Pembangunan, Wong Ting Huo, Timbalan Setiausaha Pengurusan dan Pembangunan Komuniti, Said Anak Enggang, Bahagian Khidmat Pengurusan, Teng Ming Min, Bahagian Kewangan, Loh Hua Ching, Bahagian Pembangunan Komuniti and Korporat Harta, Quincy Anak Bojeng, Bahagian Perancangan and Pembangunan, Angela Swin, Bahagian Kejuruteraan, Wong Ting Huo, Bahagian Kesihatan Awam and Perkhidmatan Bandar, Khatijah binti Afandi, and the Bahagian Penguatkuasa, which is Halwis bin Tair. Next is the jurisdiction. Cebu Division is one of the 12 administrative divisions in Sarawak, Malaysia. It covers a total area of 135.87 square kilometers and approximately 96.6 kilometers from Laut Cina Selatan. Cebu has six major towns, which is Cebu Township, Pasar Sungai Merah, Tebing Timur Batang Rajang, Pulau Kerto, Jalan Tekuk, Jalan Oya, and Jalan Salim.
So moving on to the literature review, and what can be investigated from this is the first is the shop office development, which its definition is the combined retail and office spaces in one project. The second is land tenure and legal aspect, which will give explanation on freehold permanent ownership, and the leasehold, which limited time, for example, 99 years. And the third is development process, which consists of assessment, design and approval, regulatory compliance, finalization, and construction, build and install. And the next one is mixed use development, which definition its definition is combined residential, retail, and office spaces. Five is the challenges of the mixed use development, which consists of regulatory issue, complex zoning law, high cost, and operational complexity. And next is the benefit of MXD, which is mixed use development, which consists of sustainability. It can reduce the car uses, economic growth, which will increase the property value. It's also convenient, which it was easy to access. And last one is community building, which will encourage social interaction. And the type of mixed use development that's suitable for this kind of project is retail and office type, which shops are below and the office are above. The second is commercial residential type, which the businesses goes below and home goes above. The third is transit oriented TOD, which was near a transport hub. And the last one is the live workspaces type, which home and workspace will combine together according to Glazer et al. 2001. And for example, case study that can be taken is KL Central, which its integration emphasized on transport, housing, business, and retail. And the success factor for this KL Central case study is strong public-private collaboration according to Rahman et al. 2022.
My name is Linty Anasle. I will explain on the research methodology for our study. So the overview is to investigate data collection methods for understanding mixed-use development, also focuses on development process and timeline for selected site in Cebu, Sarawak. And the type of method that we use for this study is literature review and interviews for data gathering. Next is the research design. It is utilize secondary data sources and interview, and also explore local authority requirement and development procedures. And last one is data collected from regulatory publication such as scholarly journals and stakeholders interview. For the LR review scope, it will explore key aspects of mixed-use development, including the types of building, distinguishing between low-rise and high-rise structures, and their suitability for the selected site. It is also examines the importance and challenges of such developments that is focusing on market demand, infrastructure needs, and sustainability consideration. The study also delved into legal requirements, comparing freehold and leasehold land tenure, zoning laws, and approval processes. And also the challenges in mixed-use development, including regulatory delay, financial barrier, and operational difficulties, are also highlighted in the literature review. For data collection method, there are two types of method that we use. The first one is secondary data sources and interviews. So for the secondary data sources, it will use from the government reports such as Sarawak Land Court, CMC, Planning Guidelines, and Malaysia Property Market Report. Include the industry and market reports such as academic papers, feasibility studies, and investment insight process. For the interview, it will interview stakeholders such as local authorities, developers, and urban planners. For the data collection, we use the Google Meeting and also and record all the response from the interviewers. For this interview, the ethical consideration also it will be informed consent, confidentiality, and research integrity. So the summary for research methodology is the study analyzed the mixed-use development process through regulatory, financial, and sustainability perspective, and also interview provide real-world insight from stakeholders. And the methodology enables a holistic understanding of mixed-use development in Cebu, Sarawak.
Moving on to development flowchart, there are several significant stages that took part in this development flowchart. First, we go to the project initiation and feasibility studies with technical information, where it is determining the construction project's goals, scope, and important stakeholders is part of the project initiation step. A risk assessment is carried out once the fundamental project concept has been developed in order to find any potential barriers, such as financial limitations, legal concerns, or environmental limits. The project also moves forward to the design and planning phase if it is judged practical by local authority. The next stages is design and planning phase. The project's conceptual and schematic designs are developed by architects, engineers, and urban planners, where the engineers will develop a detailed blueprints that specify construction particular for local authorities. Submission of a development order, which is called as a DO, application will be prepared by developer and handed to the local authorities for them to evaluate all the criteria. The next stages is development order application and approval. A formal request for approval is made to the local government or regulatory bodies through a development order, which is DO application. The developers could be asked to make changes before permission is given if the project does not match specific requirements that have been set by the local authorities or government bodies. The project can proceed to the pre-construction stage once the development order (DO) is granted, once all conditions are satisfied according to what have been stated and set by the government bodies and local authorities. Another significant stages involved in development flowchart is pre-construction phase and construction execution. We move we go to pre-construction phase where the developers may hold a tendering procedure and ask construction companies to submit proposals, which mean the proposals are involving all the budgets and all the materials and specification that are offered by the construction companies, especially the contractors. Site preparation, which includes establishing access roads, moving utilities, and clearing land, involved in this pre-construction phase as an initial stage of this phase. The project enters the execution phase after these preparation are finished. Next is construction execution. Physical building operations start during the construction execution phase, where the project managers and site engineers supervise work throughout the construction phase to make sure it complies with safety rules, quality standards, and designs that have been highlighted and ruled by the government. The project enters the inspection and compliance phase once the structure is finished with this phase. Moreover, inspection and compliance are also significant in development flowchart, where this stage are to guarantee adherence to zoning rules, building codes, and environmental standards. The project must pass several inspections after the completion. Testing building systems, including elevators, emergency exits, fire alarms, and HVAC systems, is another aspect of this phase where the testing stages are very critical and important for almost every construction project in order to make sure that every standards are followed. After passing all inspections, the project is cleared to go on to the handover and completion stage, where in this stage, it is the final stage of development flow chart, which is the project handover and completion. According to Form D, Certificate of Completion and Compliance (CCC), the contractor provides the project owner with as-built drawings, operation manuals, and warranty documentation for the owner due to the records are necessary for upkeep and repairs in the future. The project owner obtains a certificate of completion or certificate of occupancy signifying that the building is safe for use. There may be a warranty period during which the contractor is still responsible for any problems that develop during the occupancy of the owner.
My name is Rosemary Galingi and Aidun Bundang, so I'm going to explain on summary of the development process. So what is a DO? It is a official approval from local authority for land development or building construction. It is to ensure project follow zoning laws, land use rule, and environmental standard. And without a DO, construction, land conversion, or major renovation is illegal. So, what is the purpose of a DO? First is to regulate development to match local and national planning policies. Next is to monitor land use, infrastructure readiness, and environmental impact. Next is to prevent negative effect on neighborhood, traffic, and essential utilities. The last one is to control urban growth for a well-planned and sustainable city. Next, who issues a DO? It is issued by the local authority based on project location, for example, city council, municipal council, district council, and this approval depends on zoning rules, infrastructure impact, and environmental concern. So why is a DO important? DO important because it is to prevent uncontrolled urban growth and traffic congestion, to ensure proper infrastructure and environmental sustainability, and to create livable, safe, and well planned urban areas. Moving on to developers license APDL under the Housing Developers Act 1966. So, what is it? A law to regulate housing development and protect home buyers, and to ensure only licensed developers can build, market, and sell properties. The developer must obtain an advertisement permit and developer's license APDL before selling homes. Why is it important? Because it is to prevent fraud, abandoned project, and poor quality housing, to protect buyers by enforcing strict legal and financial rules, to ensure transparency by requiring accurate property details, and to stop unauthorized developer from selling without approval. So, how is the APDL issued? Developers apply to KPKT and must meet this requirement. First, registered company and strong finance. They must be legally registered and financially stable to complete the project. Second, land ownership and approval. Must own the land or have legal permission with approved building plans from local authorities. The third one is sales and purchase agreement, SPA. They must follow housing laws to ensure fair agreements for buyers. The fourth one is project detail submission. They must provide selling price, unit count, project timeline, and building plans. So once approved, KPKT issues the APDL, allowing marketing and sales to begin. Moving on to Certificate of Completion and Compliance, CCC. So what is CCC? CCC is an official document providing a building meets approved design, safety standards, and legal requirement. It is to confirm that the structure is safe for occupancy. What is the purpose of CCC? It is to replace the old Certificate of Fitness for Occupation CFO in 2007. It's to speed up approval and reduce delays for home buyers. Overseen by a principal submitting person, PSP, architect or engineer, to ensure compliance. So, who issues the CCC? Issued by a PSP, qualified architect, engineer, or draftsman. They verify the building meets all regulatory and safety standards before certifying it for use. The key responsibilities of PSP is submission of plan. They have to submit building design for approval by the municipal government. Second is to monitor construction. It is to ensure construction follows approved plans and regulation. Third, final compliance check. They have to verify that the building meets all safety and legal requirements before issuing the CCC. What is the requirement for issuing a CCC? There are various checks must be completed, including structural integrity assessment, electrical and plumbing compliance, fire safety and accessibility inspection, environmental impact consideration, zoning and land use regulation compliance. Meanwhile, for time frame for each stage, building and planning approval time frame, their period stipulated is familiar, which is implementing the construction plan, compiling the development fee report, and leveling the development charge within 2 working days. In 14 working days, evaluation of the plan, site visit, and estimation report. In another 14 working days, the developer will receive the reviewed paper for evaluation and certification purpose, and in 7 working days, granting the applicants a letter of approval and an approved proposal.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zainal Firdaus Mizukarnain, and I will continue with the phase involved in the development process of Cebu Municipal Council (SMC). The costs related to the government process are the different charges that are charged by regularly or municipal agencies such as the Cebu Municipal Council for this development, people, companies, or developer that are working on land development, renovation, or building project. The purpose of development fees is to ensure the compliance to environmental health and safety regulation. Development fees are collected by the Cebu Municipal Council authorities in order to carry out important environment and safety bylaws. Next is financing the development of public infrastructure in Cebu Division. Road, utilities, drainage system, and other public infrastructure are in higher demand as a result of development action. And lastly is to control the development of Cebu area. SMC controlling urban development is important to avoid traffic jams, environmental damage, and unexpected development. Continue with the fees involved. Among the fees involved among them are building plan submission fees, development charges, permit and licensing fees, and lastly is infrastructure contributions fees. Firstly, building plan submission fees. The building plan submission cost is when people or companies submit building design for approval, they are charged this cost. The size, kind, and complexity of the structure are some of the variables that affect the charges before approving the design. The Cebu Municipal Council check that they comply the safety rules, zoning laws, and environmental effect. Next, development charges. Another important tax charged by the SMC is the development charges. When there is an increase in intensity of development or a change in land use, this fee is charged. This fee must be paid by the developer who want to charge the land use, such as turning agricultural land into commercial or residential space. Next, continue with the permit and licensing fees. The SMC require developer to obtain a number of license and permit before starting any building renovation project. This cost guarantee that all development comply to the safety regulation, urban planning principle and regulatory criteria. Lastly is the infrastructure contribution fees. SMC may charge infrastructure contribution fees to encourage the development of public infrastructure. These fees assist in financing and in the building of development. Usually, developer must set aside a certain amount of their project budget for this infrastructural improvement. These are the sales permit provided by the Cebu Municipal Council SMC. Continue with the sales permit. There are a few key steps involved in the sales permit development process. Any company involved in the building must first register with the Cebu district officer. It is to ensure their legal recognition. This is for every company wishing to operate in Cebu. In addition, providing verification of business location, a registration fee usually is Rm50 is required. If the property is owned, this could take the form of a land title or sale and purchase agreement. If it is rented, it could be the shape of a tenancy agreement. This guarantee that the company function properly within Cebu laws, safety and regularity. Next is application document. These are the document needed, which the business registration document, proof of land title or tenancy agreement, the occupation permit, approved building plans, any specific safety or environmental permits.
So for the land acquisition in Cebu, for its purpose, mainly on public infrastructure, economic growth, and development. So the process that could be take is the first one is the notice, which the landowner are informed of acquisition. The second are objection, which owner can challenge the acquisition. The third is compensation, which based on market value and other factor, and transfer, which the ownership transfer after compensation. And for the legal framework, Land Acquisition Act 1960, it consists of regulatory authority which the SMC govern, and it also need a compliant requirement which the developer must provide site plan, property valuation report, and relevant fees. And the category of acquisition is, the first is public infrastructure, and the second one is economic development. So next is subdivision in Cebu. So for its subdivision process, division was a systematic division of land into a smaller parcel for a specific development purposes, and from its key stages, including the preliminary assessment, approval phase, and issuance of a land title. For its development regulation, the first is submission of development proposal, which the architectural and structural blueprint and are compliant with environmental and fire safety regulation. The third regulation is infrastructure coordination, which, for example, a road access, which must take approval from the Public Work Department JKR. And next is utility service, which collaboration with Sarawak Energy Berhad SEB. And next is the final inspection and approval, which the SMC will conduct site inspection to ensure the adherence to the legal and environmental standard. And upon full compliance, final approval is granted, allowing the project commencement.
SMC strategic initiative provide a thorough plan for tackling the social, economic, and environmental concerns that fall within its jurisdiction. SMC uses effective company administration techniques, cul- cultivates a vibrant and sustainable community, and development of human resource, societal progress, and meticulous event planning. These programs demonstrate SMC's commitment to raising residents' standard of living while uh, economic promoting economic development and environmental stewardship.